This is Rabbi Kovacs. It is Sunday, the 29th day of Omer, and we are continuing the Mishnah Yomi in Sheviit, and Bezrat Hashem finishing the third parak today. Mishnah Tes, Avne Kotef, shoulder stones. The Mishnah will define that in a moment. Baut Mekom Mekom, you could take them anywhere, from anywhere, because we're not concerned an onlooker will see that you're clearing your field, because these large stones are typically used for construction. V'hakablan mevi mekom makom. A contractor can bring these stones from any place, or can bring stones generally that are used for building from anywhere in the field. Now, this kablan, it could be a contractor for building. His profession is building, or it could be he's not working his own field, but he has a contractual arrangement to work in somebody else's field. Since it's not his own field that he's taking care of, then we're not concerned that people are going to say, oh, he's clearing his field in preparation for Sheviit. Eluhen avnei kotef, and these are the shoulder stones. Kol she'eno yechol linatel be'achat yad, any stone that's too large or too big and awkward to carry in one hand. Divri Rabbi Meir. This is the words of Rabbi Meir. So because you can't balance it or deal with it in one arm, you'd have to put it over your shoulder and use both arms to hold on to it, kind of like a weightlifter's bar, something quite large. Rabbi Yossi Omer Avnei Kotef Kishman. Rabbi Yossi says shoulder stones, like the name implies, stones that go on the shoulder. Kol shehen nitalut shtaim shalosh ala kotef. Any one that you put on your shoulder, even if you put 2 or 3 of them. So even if they're not terribly long or heavy, but these are stones you'd normally stack on your shoulder to move from place to place instead of carrying in your hands. Those are big enough to be shoulder-sized stones, and you can remove them for building purposes during Shemitah. Again, you're not removing them to clear your field or to make plowing easier, but you're removing them to use in construction. That would be allowed. Mishnah Yud, Habone Goder, he's building a fence, Beino uvein rishus harabim, between his own field and the public thoroughfare, public property. Mutter lahamik odasela, he can dig down to the rock. So maybe not all the way to the bedrock, but you understand if he's building a fence, and their fences were typically stone, as we've seen, you wanted a flat, stable foundation for the fence, so he would remove the dirt first. So maya aseh be'afar. So what does he do with the dirt? So v'robishus rabim mitakno. He could pile it up in the rishus rabim, and later on, mitaken means fix, but it can mean either move it to a different place and find some place to deposit it, or mitaken, fix the problems in rishus rabim, the uneven streets, the potholes. They didn't wait for the government to do it. They went ahead and filled it in themselves. If there was a pothole, Rabbi Yeshua. This is what Rabbi Yeshua says. It says that instead of stacking the dirt in your own property on Sheviit, where it might look like you're saving the dirt for agricultural use to spread out on your field and fix the topsoil, renew the soil, instead it's better to stack it in Rishus Harabim, even though that's might be an impediment for the public, and then later you're going to fix up the Rishus Harabim. The digging itself is allowed because people don't dig for needs of planting right next to Rishus Harabim. That area right next to Rishus Harabim, sometimes there's overflow, people or animals walk there, they're going to trample something grown right there. That's why he's building the fence in the first place. So they realize he's digging only to build a geder there and not for agricultural needs. So Yeshua says, put the dirt in Rishus Harabim temporarily and then fix up the Rishus Harabim or remove it. Rabbi Akiva Omer, Kederech shein mekokelin b'Rishus Harabim, Kach lo yitakenu. Rabbi Yeshua says, no, you can't stack a pile of dirt in Rishus Harabim. That's a kilkul. That causes a problem, a ruination. So too, you can't say, oh, I'm just going to stack it there temporarily and then I'll fix it later, or I'll use it even to benefit the Rishus Harabim by filling in the potholes. You can't put an impediment to Rishus Harabim in the first place. We're going to learn in the Gemara in Bava Kama, if somebody leaves something potentially hazardous in Rishus Harabim, they're liable to pay for any damages, and it's really something not allowed. So Maya Aseh Ba'afar. So according to Rabbi Kiva, what does he do with the dirt? Pile it up in his own field, like they would do with the dung. As we learned at the beginning of this parak, they would make the 3 big dung heaps. There's a machlokes about how much to put in them, and we had said there, if he lowered it or raised it, he dug a little bit down so it wasn't level with the field, or he raised it a little bit up on a rock or a platform, then it's nicker, then everyone sees that he's not stacking these things to fertilize the field. So too with the dirt, if it's obvious to onlookers that the dirt is not there to be spread over to renew his topsoil, will be okay. Rabbi Kiva continues, and so too if somebody is digging a pit or a ditch or a cistern of water, like a covered water hole. So here I don't think he's doing it on Shemitah, he's doing it on another year because he's preparing a water storage facility. But if he's doing this, there's a lot of dirt involved. He's really digging a large ditch, a large water storage device. So too, he has to stack the dirt on his own property, not in the Rishus Harabim. Shkoyach Rabosai.